Have you ever opened your eyes in the middle of the night and realized it's exactly 3 o'clock again? The house is quiet, the lights are off, maybe the moonlight slips through the curtain, and yet you're wide awake. You roll over, adjust your pillow, maybe even check your phone, hoping a little distraction will help. But no matter what you do, sleep just doesn't come back. If you're over 60, this might sound all too familiar, and you're not alone. Millions of older adults wake up at the same time every night, often right around 3 in the morning, wondering why it keeps happening. Some people are told it's just part of aging. Others think it's stress or anxiety, but the truth is, your body is trying to tell you something. Waking up at 3 a.m. is not random, and it's not simply what happens when you get older. It's a message from within, a signal that something in your system needs attention. And when you learn how to listen to that message, your nights can become peaceful again, your mornings full of real energy instead of exhaustion. Science now shows that our nightly wake-ups are not just a problem of sleep, but a window into how our liver, our metabolism, our bladder, and even our emotions are functioning. It's the body's way of whispering, hey, something's off, but you can fix it. So today, I want to take you on a short journey through your own biology, one that will help you understand why this happens and how to restore your natural rhythm. I'll share 5 little-known reasons why so many people over 60 wake up around 3 a.m. And most importantly, how small daily changes can help you sleep deeply through the night again. Because when you finally sleep without interruption, you don't just rest better. You think more clearly, your heart feels stronger, your mood improves, and your mornings start with calm and confidence. Tonight, as we go through this together, I want you to think of your body not as failing you, but as communicating with you. Your body is wise, it's still working for you, and when you understand its language, you can bring balance back naturally. Let's begin. To start, let's talk about one of the hardest working organs in your body, the liver, and what happens when it's quietly doing its job while you sleep. Few people realize that between 1 and 3 o'clock in the morning, your liver is doing its hardest work of the entire day. Think of it as your body's midnight cleaning crew. While you're supposed to be resting, your liver is busy filtering the blood, processing medications, breaking down toxins, balancing hormones, and storing nutrients for the next day. It's one of the most remarkable examples of how your body heals itself while you sleep. But here's the problem. When the liver is overloaded, it can't perform this nighttime cleanup properly. And when that happens, it doesn't stay quiet. It wakes you up. Many people in their 60s and 70s tell me the same story. They fall asleep fine, but around 3 in the morning, they wake suddenly, hot, restless, or even a little anxious. Their mouth feels dry. Their heart might be racing. And no matter how much they try, they can't get back to sleep. That, my friends, is often your liver raising a red flag, saying, I need some help. Think about what the liver has to handle every day. For many older adults, it's not just food, but medications for blood pressure, cholesterol, or pain. At a late dinner, a glass of wine, maybe a sugary dessert, and that poor liver is running a marathon while you're trying to rest. The result? You wake up at the exact same time every night, almost like clockwork. I once spoke with a gentleman in his early 70s who told me he woke up every night at precisely 3:07. Not 3 o'clock, not 3:15, but 3:07 on the dot. He thought it was stress or maybe his mind racing, but when we looked at his daily routine, the answer was right there. He was finishing dinner at 9, sometimes even 10 p.m., His liver was still trying to digest that heavy load when it should have been detoxifying and repairing. So I asked him to make one simple change. Move dinner earlier, around 6, and keep it light, maybe a small piece of fish, some vegetables, and a cup of herbal tea. Within 2 weeks, he called me, amazed. He said, I don't know what happened, but I'm finally sleeping through the night again. That's the beauty of understanding your body's natural rhythm. Your sleepless nights are not always in your head. Sometimes they start in your liver. If you often wake up at 3 a.m., start by supporting your liver. Eat dinner earlier and give it time to rest. Avoid alcohol, processed sugar, and heavy late-night snacks. Drink more water during the day instead of right before bed. These small adjustments can make a profound difference. When your liver is balanced and healthy, it works quietly in the background. And when it does, your body stays calm, your mind stays peaceful, and sleep becomes effortless again. Most people believe that only diabetics need to worry about blood sugar, but that's not true at all. Even if your doctor says your glucose levels are normal, your brain still relies on one thing to function throughout the night, and that is a steady supply of fuel. Your brain doesn't store sugar. There's no backup tank to draw from. It runs minute by minute on the glucose that's circulating in your blood. And when that supply drops too low in the middle of the night, your brain does exactly what it was designed to do. It wakes you up. Here's how it usually happens. You finish dinner late, maybe around 10 p.m. You enjoyed a nice meal, maybe some fruit, a cookie, or a small glass of wine. You feel relaxed, ready for bed. But about an hour later, your blood sugar begins to spike. Your body reacts by releasing insulin, the hormone that brings sugar levels back down. And for most people, that drop happens a few hours later, right around 2 or 3 in the morning. When your blood sugar dips too low, your brain starts to panic. It senses that its fuel supply is running out, so it sends out emergency signals. Your heart starts to beat faster, your body temperature rises, you might even wake up sweaty or thirsty, sometimes with a feeling of unease or racing thoughts. Many people mistake this for anxiety or stress, when in reality, it's simply the brain calling out for glucose. I remember a lovely woman in her late 70s who told me she was convinced she was developing an anxiety disorder. Every night, around 3 a.m., she'd wake up with her heart pounding and her mind spinning. She said, "Dr. Lee, I think my nerves are getting worse with age." But when we looked at her habits, we found something simple. She liked to have tea and cookies before bed. That little spike of sugar was the root of her problem. I asked her to make one small change. Instead of sweets, she tried a slice of apple with a few almonds before bed. Within a week, she told me, "I'm sleeping through the night again. I had no idea my blood sugar was doing this to me. It wasn't her nerves, it was her metabolism." So if you find yourself waking up at the same time every night, heart racing, slightly anxious, maybe even a bit shaky, don't immediately blame stress. Take a look at what you're eating before bed. Try replacing late night sweets or alcohol with something that keeps your energy stable through the night. A few bites of oatmeal, a small serving of yogurt, a handful of walnuts, or a piece of cheese with whole grain crackers can all help balance your blood sugar so your brain feels safe to rest. When your body has steady fuel, your heart stays calm, your breathing slows, and your mind can finally let go. Those 3 a.m. wake-ups aren't a mystery anymore. They're simply your brain's alarm saying, "I need energy." Once you give it the right kind of fuel, the alarm turns off and you sleep peacefully until morning. Now, here's something fascinating. Sometimes waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning has nothing to do with illness or stress. It's actually part of something ancient, something built deep into the biology of being human. You see, for most of human history, people didn't sleep the way we do today. The idea of one long, uninterrupted 8-hour sleep is actually a modern invention. Our ancestors practiced what scientists now call segmented sleep. They would go to bed soon after sunset, sleep for 4 or 5 hours, and then naturally wake up in the middle of the night. That period was often called the watch. It was a time for tending the fire, checking on the animals, talking quietly with family, or simply sitting under the stars. Then, after an hour or two, they would drift back into what they called their second sleep, waking up at sunrise, refreshed and ready for the day. This rhythm was not considered a problem. It was part of life. And although modern lighting, screens, and busy schedules have changed our patterns, that ancient wiring still lives inside us. It's buried deep in our nervous system in the way our brain regulates sleep and alertness. So when you find yourself awake at 3 a.m., it may not be because something is wrong. It may be your body remembering an old rhythm that kept your ancestors safe for thousands of years. As we get older, our sleep naturally becomes lighter, we enter more frequent periods of wakefulness, and that's often when this night watch instinct resurfaces. Instead of panicking, instead of lying there frustrated, what if you simply embraced it? What if you saw that moment as your own quiet hour, a time of calm in the middle of the night? Some people keep a small notebook beside the bed. When they wake up, they jot down a few thoughts, a dream, or something they're grateful for. Others take slow, gentle breaths, letting their body relax without forcing sleep. A few whisper a short prayer or use that time for quiet reflection. One woman told me she used to dread waking at 3 a.m. until she began calling it her sacred hour. She said that when she stopped fighting it, something shifted. Her heart slowed, her mind softened, and within minutes, she would drift back to sleep naturally. Your body is wise. It hasn't forgotten the patterns that once protected humanity. So if you find yourself awake in the stillness of the night, don't rush to fix it. Recognize it for what it might be, an echo of an ancient design, a reminder that your body still remembers how to keep you safe. And when you stop resisting, that quiet hour can become peaceful, even beautiful, leading you right back into a deeper, gentler sleep. If you often find yourself waking up in the middle of the night needing to go to the bathroom, you might assume that's the reason you woke up in the first place. But here's what's interesting. In many cases, it's actually the other way around. You wake up first, and only then do you feel the urge to urinate. As we age, our bladder becomes more sensitive, it doesn't hold as much as it used to, and even a small amount of urine can trigger that time to go signal. It's like a smoke alarm that goes off from a little steam in the kitchen, not because there's an actual fire, but because the sensor has become too sensitive. The same thing can happen with your bladder. This is especially common among older adults who take medications such as blood pressure pills, diuretics, or certain heart drugs that increase urination. So night after night, you might find yourself getting up once, twice, or even 3 times to use the bathroom, thinking it's inevitable. But in many cases, it's not your bladder's capacity that's the problem. It's your habits and timing. I remember an 82-year-old gentleman who told me he woke up 3 times a night to go to the bathroom. When we looked closer, the solution was almost too simple. He was drinking 2 full glasses of water right before bed, thinking it would keep him hydrated through the night. His bladder didn't need that much fluid, especially not at midnight. Once he shifted his hydration earlier in the day, drinking plenty of water in the morning and afternoon, but much less after dinner, something amazing happened. His nightly bathroom trips went from 3 to 1, and many nights he slept straight through until dawn. Another woman shared that she used to wake up at 3 a.m. every night to use the bathroom, even though she didn't feel an urgent need once she got there. She started doing gentle pelvic floor exercises to strengthen her bladder muscles and stopped drinking coffee after lunch. Within a few weeks, her sleep improved dramatically. So if you're finding yourself waking frequently to urinate, consider making a few small changes. Drink more fluids earlier in the day and taper off after 7 p.m. Limit caffeine and alcohol in the evening, since both can irritate the bladder. And if you're taking medications that might increase urination, talk to your doctor about timing your doses differently. When you make these simple adjustments, your bladder's alarm system becomes quieter, you'll start sleeping deeper and longer, and those frustrating 3 a.m. wake-ups will fade into memory. Remember, it's not about forcing your body to sleep, it's about helping it feel safe and balanced enough to stay asleep. Once your body feels that sense of balance again, your nights will be peaceful and your mornings will begin with real energy and clarity. There's one more hidden reason behind those 3 a.m. wake-ups, and this one is quieter, more invisible, but just as powerful. It's not your liver, not your blood sugar, not even your bladder. It's your emotional brain. Have you ever noticed that worries feel heavier in the middle of the night? A small concern that wouldn't even cross your mind during the day suddenly feels enormous. You start thinking about your health, your finances, your children, or maybe something you said years ago that still lingers in your mind. By daylight, those thoughts shrink back down to size. But at 3 a.m., they feel like mountains. There's a scientific reason for this. During the day, your rational brain, called the prefrontal cortex, is fully awake. It's like the wise friend who tells you, take a deep breath, it's not that bad. But at night, that part of the brain is resting. Meanwhile, your emotional brain, known as the limbic system, stays active. It keeps scanning for problems because that's part of its job to protect you. And without your rational brain there to balance it, emotions start to run the show. Fear feels bigger. Regret feels deeper. Every little what if grows louder. I remember an older woman named Evelyn who used to call this her worry hour. Every night around 3 o'clock, she'd wake up suddenly with her heart pounding. Her mind would race from one fear to another. What if I get sick? What if I can't take care of myself? What if I become a burden to my family? These thoughts would spiral until the sun came up, and by morning she would be exhausted. When we talked about it, I explained that what she was experiencing wasn't a sign of weakness, but a natural part of how the brain works at night. I told her, your 3 a.m. thoughts are like drunk text messages. They feel urgent, but you shouldn't take them seriously. She laughed at that and said it was exactly what she needed to hear. The next time she woke up at 3, she recognized those thoughts for what they were, just echoes of her emotional brain talking without supervision. Evelyn started keeping a small notebook by her bed. Whenever she woke up, she'd write down her thoughts instead of letting them spin in her head. She also practiced a simple breathing pattern, inhaling for 4 seconds, holding for 7, and exhaling for 8. It calmed her body, slowed her heartbeat, and helped her drift back to sleep. Within a few weeks, she told me her worry hour had lost its power. She still woke up sometimes, but she no longer spiraled into fear. So, if you find yourself awake at 3 a.m., lost in thought, remember this: those thoughts are not the truth. They're the voice of a tired brain, magnified by darkness and silence. You can simply whisper to yourself, this is just my mind talking. Everything will look smaller in the morning, and it will, every single time. When you meet your 3 a.m. mind with kindness instead of resistance, something beautiful happens. The worry softens, the heart slows down, and before you know it, sleep quietly returns. Waking up at 3 a.m. doesn't mean you're broken, weak, or sick. It's not a sign that something is wrong with you. It's your body trying to have a conversation. Sometimes it's your liver asking for a little rest. Sometimes it's your blood sugar dipping too low. It might be an echo of an ancient rhythm that once kept our ancestors safe, or it could be your bladder or your emotional brain asking for balance. Whatever the reason, your body isn't fighting you. It's speaking to you. And when you learn to listen, everything begins to change. The beauty of this is that you don't need pills or complicated routines to fix it. Most of the time, small adjustments make the biggest difference. Eat a lighter dinner, ideally a few hours before bedtime. Limit alcohol and sweets late at night. Give your liver and your metabolism the calm they need to do their work while you sleep. Keep your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet. And as you lay down each night, take a moment to let go of the day, to breathe deeply, and to thank your body for all the quiet work it does to keep you alive. When you treat your body as a partner instead of a problem, it responds. Your sleep becomes deeper, your mornings brighter, and your energy more steady throughout the day. You'll wake up not just